Hi everyone, Nancy here. It is April 7, 2020, and what time is it? What time is it? Okay, I'm just getting my watch from my pocket. It is 3:30 in the afternoon and plus 10. Okay, so that should be between 20 and 35 degrees in US terms. And it's cold because there's a icy cold in the air, but it's very nice. So guys, you know what? Right now that everybody is self-isolating, there have been a lot of counselors on all over the TV, on the news, and giving out, counseling about how not to be depressed during a time when everybody has to be at home, tucked away, because of the coronavirus that's going on right now. And there have been a lot of reports that people are depressed and just about going crazy, and they just, they're going cuckoo because their daily routine has been suddenly just stopped, right? Nobody's working anymore. Everybody's at home, and if you go out, you're supposed to do the 2 meter distant thing from other people. You cannot go to the parks. You can't go anywhere to gather in groups. You have to, you cannot, like right now, the law is in Canada, well, in Ontario, and I guess in certain provinces, like you just can't go anywhere and socialize with anybody. You have to be 2 meters apart if you're walking down the street, and you can't go to parks or anything like that. But you can go for a walk, right? So, but anyway, these reports have been coming out about how not to go crazy ever since self-isolation has been ordered, right? So I don't understand the part about people going crazy and being depressed, and like it's real, guys. Like people are actually experiencing real clinical depression because they're being, we're all being forced to self-isolate. There's a dog walker. We have a lot of those around here. You'll see the dog walker. There they are. Yes, we have a lot of dog walkers around here. And in the winter, you'll see the dog walkers the animals, they'll be wearing coats and boots. So that's cute. Yeah. So, so guys, I've been talking to God a lot about people being depressed, because I do not relate to people being depressed because they're self-isolating. I don't get it. And then I, you know, I was reminded that certain people that God has created are not affected by self-isolation, right? They're just not affected. And so I'll tell you what I mean by this, okay? So, when was this? Okay, just to make, I take a long time to express myself. So the Lord told me, right? He said that I was a seer, right? So then he told me that I was a seer, and then he told me that I was a prophetess. So then I learned that seers are prophets, right? So then I started doing some research about what is a seer, and what are prophets, and what are their what do they do, what descriptions, what jobs do they do. And so I did a lot of research, and I found out a lot about what seers, prophets do, right? So, and one of those things that I learned is that prophets, whether you're a seer or prophet or not, they love to be alone, and they love to be alone, and they don't feel lonely. They love to be away from people, and they can be away from people for up to a year or more and not be bothered by the fact that they're not around anybody, right? And I've always been like that. I like being by myself. So that's why I don't comprehend, I don't relate to people who get depressed because of this self-isolating thing, right? And before this coronavirus came out, I had always wondered why some of my friends, like throughout the years, I've known people who, I'm just kind of laughing because I'm not trying to laugh at the situation. I'm just laughing because I really don't get it. I'm not trying to make fun of people. I just really don't get it. Okay, so if you're hearing some music, it's a car. It's coming from a car that's It's coming from a car that's... See, I'm getting distracted. I can't even describe what I'm trying to say. It's pulled up to the lights, so I... No, actually, maybe it's in the parking lot. I don't know where it is. It's too loud. Well, I hope you guys can hear me. So throughout the years, I've been... Oh, yes, it's a car that's just... It pulled up at the lights and it was crossing. Oh, thank you, God. So, now what was I saying? So I've known... I'm not trying to make fun of people, okay? I'm just trying to process... I'm trying to understand this thing that people have about being depressed, about being alone. Not alone, but being in their house all the time. So throughout the years, I've known people who have told me they're going crazy because they're living by themselves and they don't know anybody. Like, for example, people will move away to another place and they don't know anybody in their area. They don't know their neighbors and they're just in the house, and they have, like, they've moved away because of a job, and so they don't know anybody, and all they do is just go to work every day and come home, and they can't really socialize with anybody because they don't know anybody. All they know are the people that are from back home in their own city or town, and they're communicating on Facebook or calling or texting or things like that, and they feel like they're going to lose their minds because they're alone in their homes. So in my head, whenever I've heard this kind of whenever I've heard this kind of thing coming from my friends, in my head it will be running through my head, what are you talking about? What do you mean you're feeling depressed? How can you feel like you're going crazy and you're feeling depressed and you're feeling sad and just so agonized over the fact that you don't know anybody around there and you're feeling sad? And I don't get it. What are you talking about? I would love to be in your situation because over here in my place, I have to be around people, right? So I never understood it. I didn't get it. And so so every time a friend of mine would go away and they would tell me that they're going cuckoo because they're at home by themselves and they don't know anybody in the area, I never understood it. I never told them that I didn't understand it because I didn't want them to feel bad, right? I would just sit there and listen. So, but then when God, started telling me to do research about what, how prophets are, then I understood why I could not relate to people who feel like they're going to go crazy if they're stuck in the house all the time. I couldn't, up until that time, I couldn't understand it, right? So now I understand it. And guys, even now that I understand why I can't relate to them, why doesn't bother me to be at home all the time, to self-isolate, I still have a hard time trying to understand how there are people who are still going crazy and being depressed from having to self-isolate because of the situation or whatever the situation. I'm still having a hard time, even though I understand now why certain people, like myself, don't go crazy for self-isolating or being secluded or sequestered or whatever, you understand. I am still having a hard time understanding why other people can't process self-isolating like I can, or others like myself can. I don't get it. I understand it, the situation that God makes us all different, but I'm still having a hard time trying to comprehend why those people can't comprehend, like why those people are having a hard time with self-isolating. But it has to do with the way God created certain people, right? He created a certain type of people to be alone for his purposes, right? And he created the rest of the world, I guess, normal. Yes, that's the best way that I can describe the rest of the world. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, if you feel like you're going crazy because you're self-isolating, or if you're in a place, if you're in a new area, location where you don't know anybody and you're feeling depressed because you can't socialize with anybody, then you have to do your best. Do your best to Do something to keep yourself busy. Get out, go for walks, okay? Take up a new hobby. There are a lot of things that you can learn. You see, the situation about self-isolating has caused a lot of people to discover things about themselves that they did not know they had interest for. So you have to start looking for things to learn. There are a lot of ideas on the internet. Get on YouTube and start looking for new things to learn, hobbies to learn, crafts to learn. Look up like ideas to learn. You can even start learn whatever, something that you don't know, even things that you don't think you would like. Start to take those things up. Learn how to do things that you think that you might not like it, and then you might find that you will like it, and then you might even start making videos to teach other people how to do that. And then making videos will keep you busy. And you also have to get out, because getting out, getting fresh air, and relating to the rest of the world, relating as in you can see the world walking by. You see all those people down there? They're all relating to the world. They're getting out and going about their business, doing whatever they need to do. They're going from one place to the other, doing whatever they need to do. They're going to places to get things done. Or just go for a walk. But there are things to do. There is no excuse. Use the self-isolating that we are experiencing right now, wherever in the world you are, to discover something new about yourself. Because this is what I've been learning. As you know, every day I will watch the news, and the news will always report about the different ideas that people who are at home have discovered about themselves, and now they're putting it out on videos, and some of them have even started online businesses because of this situation, right? So a lot of people are discovering things about themselves that they didn't know that they could do, like starting an online business. And once this whole coronavirus thing goes away, they'll have they'll go back to their old job if it's still available, and then they will have two income streams, or whatever, how you say that, right? Two streams of income. And some people will not have a job to go back to because their bosses are that mean. So then they will have the business that they started while they were self-isolating. So don't make up the excuse. Don't fall on the excuse that you don't know what to do because you're all depressed because you're self-isolating. Look at that family down there. They're all doing they're walking apart. That's smart. I think it was as of yesterday, the police are now starting to give fines from $1,000, and it goes up, because before it was $750 per person for people who were caught gathering in places where the government had already banned, like they had closed them down, like parks and things like that. So now people are getting $1,000 tickets. I think the next level up is $100,000, and then I think that's for businesses, and then it goes up to 10 million for businesses. So good. Yep. Yeah, guys. So anyway, just make sure that you find something to do, because there is something to do. Many people all over the world are finding things to do now that they have been placed in a situation. They are forced to discover things about themselves that they did not know before. And that's a good thing, because you can use it to benefit yourself and your family and your pets and your neighbors, and you can start a business, or you know what I mean? You can start a business. So even start looking for ideas for how to do a business, online business. Some people start, they will get a website, and they will sell their photographs, or they will buy digital prints from a store, and they'll start selling them. But make sure that the digital prints, you have to buy buy digital prints that will enable you to sell them. Yes. Sorry guys, I'm just looking to my right, and there are some people screaming, talking really loud. Oh, I think that's my neighbor. They're just talking so loud. Yeah. Okay, guys, so I think I'm done. And thanks for coming, and don't forget to subscribe. And muchas gracias por venir. Thank you very much for coming. Click on subscribe and then click on the bell so that you won't miss out on any of the videos that I upload. You'll be automatically notified every time I upload a video. Okay, guys. Okay. Ciao, ciao. Los quiero a todo mundo. I love you all. Bye.